Today, we're going to talk about something that I deem to be highly important on your journey to building up your confidence, and that is self doubt. How many of you have struggled with self doubt, whether it's today, whether it's happened in the past, or it happened in the past, but you're still dealing with it today? Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because I've been having some really good discussions with a lot of my clients lately, working on their confidence, working on self esteem, and self doubt continuously comes up. It's that one that we can't get around. Whether we acknowledge it or not, fear and self doubt will be some of our biggest enemies. And you also know what? You can't lie to certain people. Well, no, let me take that back. You can't lie to certain people. The people you can't lie to yourself, you can't lie to God, and I feel like you can't lie to your grandma. I feel like grandmas be knowing if you're telling a lie or not. But let's go back to yourself. The reason you can't lie to yourself is because even if you're saying, I'm doing this or I'm going to do that or I'm this type of person, you know inside that that's a lie. So even if you're saying it, you know if you believe it or not. So we have to have a conversation around just how critical it is to be able to overcome self doubt. Now, how does it show up? What does it actually look like in real time? Self doubt is when you aspire to do something, but because you don't believe that you can follow through, you don't. Or when you start to follow through, it's a really, you give a half ass effort. You're not giving all of your energy because you don't truly believe that you can actually do the thing or reach the goal that you want to. How many of you can relate to that? Like you say, hey, I want this relationship, I want it to work. But then when you go on a date, you're not showing up as your best self. You're downplaying your personality. You're showing up as a shell of yourself, not because they told you to, but because innately you don't believe that this person that you're dating can actually be somebody that you uh, get with long time, get engaged, have a great family, marriage, all that. You don't believe that that can happen for you. Maybe you haven't said it, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to always verbalize these things. Your actions are saying everything for you. The fact that you're canceling last minute or you don't want to meet the right people or you're dating at standards that are way low, like you shouldn't be dating this person, all the red flags are there, but you do it anyway. Why? Because you are doubting that you can really ever find the true love that you want. That's one example of self doubt and how it shows up. Right? So we got to talk about what to do about it. I'm gonna get right into it. One, you have to start to identify what are the limiting beliefs that you're putting on yourself. Some of us may not have heard that term before. It is a clinical term. If you've been working with a great therapist or you had coaching before, you may be familiar with it. But limiting beliefs are the thoughts that you have over and over and over, and they become stronger to now it's just like it's a belief. It's what you feel. It's a core belief about yourself. And if you know anything about like once it becomes the core, it's harder to move. So you may have one thought of, you know, I'm not gonna meet anybody. And you have that same thought over and over and over to now that thought becomes a core belief and it looks like I'm not attractive. I'm not worth love. Now, again, you may not walk around all the time just saying I'm not worth love, but that's the core belief or the limiting belief that's happened from all of the other thoughts that you've been saying to yourself subconsciously for years now. It takes work, but you have to identify what those are. And once you identify them, I'm highly suggesting that you write it down so that you can then analyze it. Because even when we're talking through it, sometimes the limiting belief may sound like, oh, wait, it's not that, but it's this. But when you can actually physically see it on paper, then you can say, oh, you know what? Dang, Jason, that is how I'm thinking. That is a cap that I'm putting on myself. And because I doubt myself in this area of my life, it's spilling over to other areas, right? I don't think I can have the right relationship. I'm also not in the right job, or I'm also not in the right career field. I'm also not being the best parent to my kids. I'm also not being the best friend. Like, sheesh, how many other areas of my life is this self-doubt impacting? It can get deep. So you got to identify what those limiting beliefs are. Number two, you have to get around the right people. Now, the thing about the right people, they're not going to always tell you that you're right. As a matter of fact, if they're always telling you that you're right, you're probably around the wrong people, the yes man people, the people who are making you look or letting you look like a fool, even though they know, oh man, Jason, you don't need to be doing that. You're looking crazy. But because they're the yes people and not the right people, they're allowing you to do it. They're promoting it. They're telling you good job when they know that was terrible. But they're not the right people for you, so they're just going along with the get along. And all the while, you're thinking that these are your homies, these are your best girls, all of that, but they're really not holding you accountable. So in order to overcome self-doubt, you don't want everybody around you just promoting you and pushing you and telling you that you're great. You want people that can sit you down and say, "Hey, what are you doing right there? Like, what was the thought process from you doing this and that?" It doesn't have to be in a disrespectful manner. They don't have to come at you sideways. They shouldn't embarrass you. But in essence, you want that person to be honest with you. And since we're talking about self-doubt, it needs to be reciprocal. So you also have to reciprocate that same energy to your friends or your close family members. If you see them moving away that you know it's just not productive, it's not going to be helpful for them long term, the onus is now on you to say something. And if they disagree or if they are a little bit taken aback, that's okay. You can work through the conflict and work through those emotions, those feelings. But you know, on the other side of it, you're going to be in a better place. But when you doubt yourself, you don't say anything. They don't say anything to you because they either feel like they're not your real people, and you don't say anything to them because you don't have the courage or maybe you have the wherewithal, but you don't have the assertiveness to actually speak up. So you got to get around the right people and make sure you are the right person to the people that you are around. Third thing that you have to do, you have to start not believing all of your thoughts, right? So you have to be more skeptical or critical of some of the things that you're doing, and some of the ways that you're moving. This also means that you have to be willing to engage in self-reflection and self-accountability, honestly, because you can look at yourself and you can say, all right, look, Jason, I'm great, or I'm doing the best that I can. And you can know, like, you know what? I'm not. I'm truly not doing the best that I can. But that means that you have to be, again, you got to be honest. You got to be real. A lot of times we don't want to be real. We don't want to hold ourselves that accountable. That takes a lot of work. Now, on the same token, as I'm saying that, you don't want to always believe everything that you think because you want to be more critical of some of your thoughts. I also want you to be able to look back and celebrate some of the dope things that you've done. That's one of the things that when I'm working with people on confidence, I see that all of these amazing things that you've done, you downplay it. And I mean, you downplay it big time. You gloss way over it. I mean, you graduated from the Ivy League school, or you're raised in the amazing family, but you're like, I'm just supposed to do that. And while that is true, that's still a great accomplishment that you want to start giving yourself more credit for. Don't just skate by those things, because when you do, trust me, when you start to continuously downplay all of your greatness, everybody else will downplay it too, right? Do you think Beyonce knows that she's that, you know, she knows, right? She's not arrogant about it, but she's confident about it. Jay-Z the same way. And when you exude that type of confidence, one, other people, they see it, they respect it. But then when it's time for you to move up the ladder, or maybe there's certain ambitions or goals that you want to achieve, now you can look back and say, you know what, it's going to be tough, but look at the body of work. Look at what I've done. I know I can get there. That's how you overcome that self-doubt. You got to start bigging yourself up too. But it's got to be realistic, right? Don't gas yourself up if you haven't done nothing. That's a whole nother conversation. Lastly, when it comes to overcoming self-doubt, I want you to realize that, again, the fear is going to be your biggest enemy. You have to overcome you. See, sometimes there may be times where I know I need to give a speech. I know I need to record an episode. I know I need to have a difficult session with somebody, or just have a tough conversation with somebody who I love. And there can be fear behind that act. Like, oh man, I'm dreading it. But I can realize that that fear is normal, right? Like, who wants to have that difficult conversation with somebody that they love? Like, you're not waking up saying, oh, I just want to, engage in this possible conflict, or I want to break this bad news to somebody. We don't attract those things, but we have to embrace that that's part of life. When you can do that, it's going to increase your confidence that you can do hard things. Not because it's an affirmation, but because it's on your resume. And once it's happened, that's evidence. Nobody can take that away from you. So the fear is going to be there. We acknowledge it, we accept it, but we engage in behaviors to overcome that fear. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you let self-doubt control your life, it will. You won't get that far. You'll stunt your growth personally and professionally. So if anything, I would advise you to acknowledge, what are your limiting beliefs? Who are the right people or the wrong people that you're spending time with? Are you critical of your thoughts? Do you celebrate your true past accomplishments? And lastly, are you allowing fear to run your life? Right? All right, y'all. That's it. Make sure you tap into another episode and send this out, because I know somebody else is struggling with self-doubt. It's not just you. All right. Be blessed. Peace.